Cameo Holland tells me she's not making any excuses for what her son did, but she does feel as though police officers could have handled the situation differently.
I just could not, and I still can't really believe that he is gone. And
November 23rd is a day Cameo Holland says she'll never forget. She tells me she remembers watching the news that night with Stavion's 10-year-old younger brother, at the time not knowing it was her son she was seeing on TV.
Just took it as an opportunity to talk to him, and I just told him that, you know, this is why things like this are what make me even more worried about your brother. But then I also told him at the same time those people did not have to kill that person.
Cameo says later that night she got the knock at the door no parent ever wants to get.
That's when my mind just said, you know, there's no way that he can be dead. They hadn't even said that, but I just thought, what are they, like, it was starting to come together, but I was like, there's no way that he can be dead. He's only 15 years old.
But she says the visit from detectives left her with more questions than answers, with the investigation still in its early stages. Police say during that armed robbery, Stavion Rodriguez was locked inside by the store clerk before officers arrived and ordered him to come out. They say he came out with a gun in his hand. A video shot by KOCO5 at the scene appears to show Rodriguez holding, then dropping a gun, then putting his hands up, and then down again before he was shot. Police say he did not follow orders and considered his movements suspicious, which led to shots being fired.
I know my child, and from the video I can see he was scared. He didn't know what to do. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have participated in what he did. I'm not defending that. But that's not the way that you respond, or they should respond to those kind of situations. And he did what they said. The people that killed my child need to go to jail.
Cameo also says it's been hard seeing some of the comments about her son over the past few weeks.
He wasn't raised to, you know, with that stealing is okay. There's just a lot of stuff that contributed to him being where he was and doing what he did. It's not as simple as, oh, he's just a bad kid or a bad person that has a family that doesn't care about him. He was taken care of at home. He was 15, and there were things that he wanted to do, and ended up in a situation that got out of hand really fast, but a situation that he should have had the opportunity to, you know, be accountable for through a court system.
She tells me she hopes she'll get the answers she's seeking once the body cam video is released.
Like, I'm not looking for sympathy or somebody to feel bad, exactly, you know, feel bad about my child. It's that the problem is bigger than what they did to my child. They've been doing it, and if nothing changes, they're going to keep doing it.
Tonight, the DA's office is reviewing that case. Paris Jones, KOCO 5 News.